now we got to really ask the serious question, which is, are black men really the leaders? Like, are we doing what we should to deserve the right to be called leaders, right? And I'll tell you the reason why I'm asking the question is because everything we just talked about or described, it seems like black women are at the head of that, or at least participating in it way more than we are. Mm-hmm. So are we the leaders?
Spicy.
Are we, like, how can we?
I think at the end of the day, it goes back to the household, right? Mm-hmm. So if we don't have that respect from our children and our women, it's hard to say that we really run or lead our communities, in my opinion.
Well, when you start saying words like respect, the next question I ask is respect just given or is it earned?
She gotta be earned.
So then that still goes then, right? Like, how do we earn the respect? How do we earn the title of leadership? Because yeah, like, to be a leader comes respect, right? But then also people have to trust that you're leading them in the right direction, right? We're leading them to something.
Well, half the battle is showing up. You know, showing up not only for your family, but giving back and trying to help others and bring up young people and that mentorship. A lot of my mother told me one time, she said, growing up in the 60s, 70s, the worst thing that happened to the black community was desegregation. She was like, because once the successful black people in the community, especially men, got a couple dollars, what they do? Move to the suburbs, right? Before that, you didn't have a choice. You had to have your own little pharmacy. You had to have your own little grocery store. You had doctors and dentists and lawyers and things because they couldn't go out, to the suburbs. Once they got that opportunity, they were gone. So the successful ones not looking down on the ones trying to come up, right? Because you were there before. And I think that goes back to there's levels to it because for some reason, when some of us get successful, we start, oh, look at his pants. Oh, look at the music he listens to. And then we start sounding like the old heads, right? Listen to that music back in my day, so I think showing up and being leaders for those that are still underserved and haven't figured out the right way is very important as well.
Right, and what you said, Drew, that's kind of why I brought that up I think we should be more selfish with our community because you brought up a very good point, JP, which is we get some type of success or at least we get structure or some type of foundation. The first thing we do is leave our people. We go somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Right, so how, again, like with leadership, we're leading, okay, I'm going to lead my people away from my people. You get what I'm saying? Like, how can we, of course it then goes back to community, but in leader we have to lead the community to just better so we don't have to leave. We don't have to leave in order to feel safe. Right? Like we can't even feel safe enough sometimes to just send our kids to the school in the community that we live in. We got to send them somewhere else. They got to travel halfway across the city because we just want a better education. But when we talk about the education, who's the one teaching the youth? There's more black women in these schools leading in the education system than it is the black men.
See, the thing that comes to mind for me when it comes to leadership, as we talk about women, is the fact that I almost feel like women were kind of like pegged as someone who just had to stay home and take care of the kids. They weren't deemed as leaders. Meanwhile, manning the household, leading the household, just being that barn woman in the crib prepared them to be leaders. I think it was almost like one of those default type scenarios. So they were being groomed to be leaders, and I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna keep it a buck, to deal with this dude called the man, the husband, who's supposed to be the leader, in some cases falling short. So they dealing with this dude, raising the kids, keeping the house clean, keeping the family business out of the streets. They were being groomed for being excellent leaders. Then some of them, as time moved on, to become, go to school, graduate, still raise the kids, still take care of that man, provide for him and put food on the table. So I think it became this power training school, if you will, as the home training women to be amazing leaders. And then because they didn't ask for it, they got it anyway. They didn't pump their chest, I'm a leader, oh, I'm a leader. They became leaders by default based on how they were portrayed and some of the tasks they had to perform for the family. So it's powerful. And I only say that because, and I know this just by our conversation, us here sitting at this table here, no disrespect to our fathers, but my mother was the bomb. Yeah. My mother was an example of a leader. Sure. My two sisters, amazing leaders. So a lot of my leadership qualities came from them. My father did what he did. He only did what he knew to do, so I'm not hating and getting mad at him for that, but my mother was amazing.